So this evening we are finally to the point of making our apple jelly. So I've had a lot of comments asking for me to post the video of how we make our apple jelly. So here it is. So please watch to the end of this video though, because at the end I'm going to give the 2 tricks to make sure your jelly sets properly. So please wait to the end of the video. So please watch the whole video so you see the whole thing and you get the good tricks that will help you. So in the beginning, come over here to the pot. So here's the recipe, and we're going to put this in the description of the video so you can have it. So right now I'm going to set it right there. So over here, so we have our pot. We're going to do this on the outside cooker. This is where we do a lot of our things because this is a lot easier than getting the kitchen all messy. So first, we have the apple juice that we got from our apple peelings and our apple cores. And if you want to see how we did that, please check back on my channel and you will see a video of how we got this beautiful apple juice from the apple peelings and the cores. So right now, for a single batch is 5 cups. Okay, now we're doing a double batch, but I'm just going to tell you the instructions for a single batch because this is already measured out for a double batch. So, but for a single batch, you will need 5 cups of juice. Okay. You will need 7 cups of sugar. So we didn't measure out the sugar yet, but I can do that. So right here, there's 4 cups at a time. Okay, 4 cups. And we need 7, so we'll need 3 more. There we go, there's 3 more. So now we have 7 cups of sugar. Oh, but actually we're going to need 14 cups of sugar. See, I just almost messed myself up, didn't I? See, if you guys were here talking to me while you're watching this, somebody could have said, hey, you're supposed to do 14 cups. But that's okay, not a big deal. So we're just going to do 7 more. 4 more, and now 3 more. Okay, and here's 3 more. Now, we're going to turn on this too. And then I'm going to add my last thing. Let me turn it on. And then I'm going to add my last thing before it comes to a boil. And turn it on really quickly here. I'm going to put it to medium. That scared me. Why did it do that? Turn it down. Okay, anyways, so that's kind of dangerous. All right, now the last thing that you want to put in here before the boil, not the last thing total, just before the boil, is the lemon juice because you need acid. So you need something acidic for it to set. So here is lemon juice. Okay, that's the lemon juice. Now we're going to get the spoon and we're going to stir it. So come over here so you can see, because it's more interesting to see this. There's a lot of sugar in it, so it's just kind of a little bit. Remember, because we're doing a double batch, but for a single batch, your first 3 ingredients, 5 cups of juice, 7 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Those are your first 3 ingredients for apple jelly. So it's going to have to come to a kind of a rolling boil. I'm just stirring it to get all the sugar dispersed and get the sugar dissolved. Okay, so the sugar is just about dissolved, so I can stop stirring. And now we're just waiting for it to boil. So now a funny thing that happens at our house at this time of year is when our acorns, but my husband wants to say acorns. Acorns. I say acorns, but it is acorns because it's how you spell it. He doesn't agree, but it's alright. It is. Either way you pronounce it, it's the same thing. Anyway, so they fall out of oak trees, right? That's where they grow, in oak trees. They fall from the oak trees. So over there, right next to our barn, or one of our barns, our metal barn, has a metal roof. So we have a lot of now I can't even say it. He's gotten me so confused. Acorn trees around it. There's a lot of oak trees around it, right? And so what happens, and the limbs, they're such old trees that the limbs really cover the roof of that barn, and that has a metal roof. And so what happens is that when these are dropping this time of year, especially when it's a good year for them, which this year is the year for them, because that's funny about oak trees. So not every year you're going to have the same amount of acorns in these trees. Acorns, acorns, however you want to say it. You're not going to have the same amount. Some years are heavy, some years are light. So this is a heavy year. So what happens is that when they fall and they hit that metal roof, it's very, very loud. I mean, so loud it does sound like a shotgun shot. And it's can be scary if you don't know what that is. Especially if you're inside the barn. I mean, it hits and it's like, you're like, oh goodness, what was that? So, I mean, it is startling for sure. And the same, we also have a lot of black walnut trees. And they're mostly on this side of the property, and also on the edges and in the woods, of course, and in the pasture over there. But now they make but they make more of a thumping sound because they're hitting the ground. So we don't have them hitting anything metal. So when they hit the ground, like see this tree right here, this has a lot. And walnuts, they are big in the side, their shell, their casing part, right? That is big. And they're heavy, so when they fall they definitely make a loud pumping sound for sure. And so yeah, definitely there's a lot of different sounds in the early fall around our farm. Animals. Earlier we had our guinea was talking. Yesterday evening when we were out, we had the cicadas talking. You have the dogs barking. You have sometimes the goats, the pigs, the chickens, the rooster, let me see what else. The cows, well the cows aren't at home right now, but when they come home you would have them. If Nibbles was here, our miniature donkey, he likes to talk, so you'd have him. And then you have the acorns, the walnuts, sometimes you'd have crickets. You have birds, lots of birds. We have a lot of birds. We have squirrels. Squirrels like to talk too. They are funny. They talk funny for sure. So they are very interesting to hear. Right now you hear the puppies. The puppies are barking. They want out. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting early fall sounds around our farm. So it's pretty amazing. You get used to those sounds because for me, those cicadas, they're just a natural sound at night. I don't think twice about it. I don't even hear them anymore. But there was somebody who commented on one of my videos about that noise when we were outside and we were doing a video, and they were back there, and they commented about them. And it's funny because I read that comment and I'm like, what is the person talking about? It didn't even dawn on me that was a sound at night because I'm so used to it. Same with all the animal sounds. I don't really hear it. Once you hear them all the time, you don't really know that that they're there all the time. So it's good to just sit down once in a while and just listen for all the sounds and just not do anything and just really pay attention. So it's it's relaxing. I think I like all the sounds because they're just natural, God's creatures making their noises. So I like them. I like the sounds of all that. Okay, so except for now, he's here. The puppies their mom is getting mad at them. Okay, I'm going to stir this apple stuff again. Okay, so it's going to probably take a couple minutes, so I'm going to be right back when it gets to the boil, okay? Okay, so now here we're back, and this is boiling now, as you can see. So now, once it starts to boil, a good boil like this, now it's time to add our pectin, dry pectin. Now, for the single batch recipe, you need 2 ounces, 2 dry ounces, which actually equates to about 1/3 of a cup. So we're going to sprinkle that in here, and we're going to stir it as we do this. Okay. Now also, a tip, that's very hot. So now we're going to we're going to stir this in, and we're going to bring this to a hard boil. And then we are going to start looking for bubbles. But really quickly, before I say the bubbles, this foam, if you get a lot of foam, now this is foaming a lot. This is a big pot, so we're not having a problem. But if you don't have such a big pot and you need to stop the foam, you add a little bit of butter. Normally we don't have to do that with this, but I'm having a problem here. And so hold on, we're going to turn it down for a second. And actually, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to be right back to go get some butter. Alright, so I am back, and it's okay. I was just panicking because I thought it was going to overflow, and it's very hot. I didn't want to make a mess. This is my first time making jelly by myself. Normally my husband does this, but I help him. But he's normally the one doing this. So he's taught me though, and so I am doing this on my own for the first time. So we didn't need to add butter. And now the foam is going down. But now our next trick is we need to watch the bubbles. See, these are fast popping bubbles. These are fast popping bubbles. Too many of them, a lot of them. So they were fast bubbles, and now they are lingering bubbles that go plop, plop, plop. Those are the time when you know to turn the heat off. So as you can see, they go up and then they pop. So lingering bubbles, plop, plop, plop. So now we are going to turn the heat off. So you turn the heat off, and now we have to have a spoon, a metal spoon, a little spoon, and we're going to dip this in. Like so, and we're going to first see, so right now, we're going to go take this to the freezer. I'm just going to take a little bit like that. Now, let me wipe the bottom of this off here. Now I will be right back. I'm going to go take this in the freezer to chill it, to see if it's going to set properly. Alright, so now, so I put it in the freezer, that spoon, but now, go back to my 2 tips on how it's going to make sure it's going to set. It's those bubbles that I talked about when they go plop, plop, plop. And then also, it is this test. Well, then the spoon, but this is also, when you go like this, I'll use my other hand so you can see. Look in front of my spoon. See how it's starting to get thick, and you see that looks like film on the top of the jelly. That means it's starting to set. Because it has to cool, of course, to set. So this is still hot, but it is starting to set, so this is a good sign. So now we get to jar it, and then my next video will be how to can it. So, okay, and really quickly, before I end this video, let me just show you one other quick thing too. So on their spoon, you dip it in here, and then, so it's hot, right? So you give it a second to cool down. Then as it cools, it's gonna start getting thicker if it's gonna set. And so it's gonna drip. But now watch, the drips get slower, see? Slow. Now barely drip off. See, slow. Barely will drip. Slow. Slow. So that means definitely this is going to set. So we succeeded. This is going to be wonderful apple jelly. And please check below or check the description for the recipe. And also check back to see how we can this. And also another one for our pear jelly. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and thumbs up if you like it, and leave me all the comments you want because I love them. And remember, God is always with you. Bye!